So I've been hearing a lot of young people talking about not wanting to be perceived. And I thought, wow, that is such a good saying because I've definitely had that feeling of not wanting to be perceived, and sometimes it's at the silliest times, in the silliest places. Sometimes it's like in the supermarket. Sometimes it's just like pumping my gas. And if I'm in a particular season of my life where I'm feeling particularly not confident with myself, particularly judgmental with myself, particularly just not feeling it, Sometimes you're just not feeling it. And when I'm in those seasons of my life, sometimes it can be very difficult to just show up in the world and do the normal things that normal people do, like go to the grocery store, pump your gas, go to work, go to the post office. Any of those places, if you get too in your head, anything and any single thing can be difficult. Being with your friends, being in public, looking in the mirror can be difficult if you get yourself to that place. And trust me, I definitely have. I definitely have. And so I had a lot of time to think about this, and I did a lot of work on myself and just thinking about the past and my family and the way that I was brought up. And I realized that I think the reason why we fear being perceived, because not everyone has this. I know some people who they love being perceived. Maybe they have a bad hair day. Maybe they have a bad day here and there where they don't want to be seen. But I know a few people who very much like to be seen, and they will make a scene if they aren't seen. And God bless them, God bless them, because you need those people in the world too. I'm not one of them, and if you're watching this, you probably aren't either. If you are, hey, comment below. Give us some tips. What's working for you guys? We can use those tips. But if you have that trouble, if you have the trouble being perceived, if you have the trouble going out all the time with confidence, it's probably because somewhere, someone in your life told you that you were wrong for being yourself. And it's as simple as that. And I think if you grow up in a family that's very judgmental, if you grow up in a family that wants to constantly control who you are, control where you go, control the things that you do, control the people you hang out with, control every single little thing that you do, it can be very hard to be yourself. It can be very hard to be yourself because you learn as a young person, at a young age, that who you are is not accepted. Because it's not. That's the truth of it. If you grow up in a family like that, that's the truth of it, is that who you are is not accepted. And then you go on to expect that from the world. You expect that everyone out there is judging you and also thinking that you are not how you should be. And I'll give you the honest truth. I know there's some people who say, oh, don't worry about other people's opinion. Other people aren't worrying about you. They're just worrying about yourself. To be completely honest with you, that's not true. That's not true, because we live in a very judgmental society. And there are a lot of people who will judge you just for what you're wearing in a grocery store. There will be people who will give you judgmental looks as you're pumping your gas. There are people who will be judgmental with you everywhere you go. But you don't have to give them that power. You don't have to take that in and tell them that they're right. You don't need to do that. You can show up as yourself and see those people and understand that they're doing that not because of you, but because they're projecting something that they don't like about themselves onto you. That's the truth. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's not because you are dressed wrong, you look wrong, you're in the wrong neighborhood. It's because this person has some sort of insecurity, something they don't like in themselves that they're seeing in you, and you're triggering that in them. Now, that doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it easier to go out there and be perceived during times that you don't want to be. But I think there are things that can make it easier. And I think if you're in the place where you're really, really having trouble being perceived, going out, living your life, I think you got to take small steps. I think you got to go out there a little bit at a time and just work your way back up, because it's not easy if you've, I know especially after the pandemic, a lot of people stay in, a lot of people work from home. A lot of people really aren't out there in the world as much as they used to be. You can just order your groceries to your door. You can get everything delivered these days. It's amazingly convenient, and it is terrible for our social skills. It's both good and bad at the same time. So if you're in that position where you're home a lot and you're not out in public and you want to start getting out in public, just do it a little at a time. And sometimes a good thing to do is if maybe you don't have this person in your life, maybe you don't have this friend. And if not, that's tough. I've definitely been in places where I didn't have a friend like this. But if you have a friend who's super social, if you have that friend who likes being perceived, go out with them. Go out with them to the party, because they'll be the one who does all the talking. They'll be the one who takes on the conversations. They'll be the one who literally does the talking for you. I have friends like that who, they just love to talk. They'll yap, 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 yap. And I'm very introverted. If I don't know someone, I can have a very difficult time making conversation with them. Whereas if I know someone, it can be extremely, extremely easy. And, that's not something that we can just switch on and off. So if you can take someone with you who's really good at talking, who likes talking, who enjoys it, and understands that you aren't having as easy of a time with that, who understands your introversion, who understands the things that you're struggling with and will protect you in that situation while also allowing you to get some socialization under your belt, take that person with you. Buy them a coffee, buy them a drink, whatever. Even if the first time you're going out and getting accustomed to being perceived is just sitting in the coffee shop, just take your laptop, sit in the coffee shop, take a book, because the good thing is you can look down, you don't have to look at everyone, right? Find ways to just make it easier for you to be out in the world while getting that practice and just not having a breakdown about it, because it can be difficult. It can be very difficult if you haven't done that in a while. So definitely find those places, find those safe places, find those safe people, and then find the reasons why you want to get back out there, reasons why you want to be out in the world doing things again. And the truth is that, yeah, people are going to judge you. There's going to be people that judge you out in the world, but there's going to be a lot of people who also love you and that really are happy that you're there and are so helped by your presence. And you might see people, if you get to the stage where you're really confident and you work yourself out of the fear, you are going to be so much more helpful to those people who have the fear of being perceived, who are introverted, who have trouble in public, who have trouble in social situations. You're going to be like a god to them. You're going to be so helpful to them because you're going to be able to see in them, okay, this person's nervous. Let me help this person. Let me go talk to them, or let me just show them where the drinks are. Let me show them where to sit. Let me just do something to be kind to this person, to say like, hey, it's okay. We're happy you're here. Because sometimes that's all the people need. And people who are overly extroverted, they're not as tapped into that. So just find reasons why. Find reasons why you want to be out there, and just start little by little. Just start accepting yourself. Starting accepting yourself for whatever it is that you got going on, because I can guarantee you there's other people going through it. And maybe it's hard, and maybe it's things that you don't want to accept about yourself. Maybe it's things that you don't want other people to know about yourself. But, just tackle it a little bit at a time. Little bit at a time. I know I definitely go through that trouble sometimes. And sometimes it could be little things. It could be like, I gained some weight and I don't want to go out because what if I see people that I meet and they're like, oh, you gained weight. Well, you know what? Yeah, just own it. Just own it. You know what? I gained weight, and you know what? I had fun doing it. And now I have to lose weight, and I'll have fun doing that. Just whatever it is that is keeping you from wanting to be perceived, whatever it is that's keeping you in the house, that's keeping you from being social, try to figure out what it is exactly, try to pinpoint it, and then try to find some way to accept it. Because that's really all you can do. So I hope this helped in some way. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching this. And I have a bunch of other videos that I think could possibly help you. If you're struggling with procrastination, if you're struggling with your life's purpose, check out my playlist on self-development, and I think it will help. I hope it will. So anyway, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.